All right, thanks, guys. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're having a great weekend. Actually, partied with a bunch of college kids last night. That was a lot of fun. It was a college club, and I made real good friends with the plug, which is that's what the young kids are calling the drug dealer, the weed man. I don't do drugs, but we had a great conversation. He liked my beard, and tell you what, he had the loudest of the loud. You could smell it from a mile away. But anyway, great time. The fiance was getting hit on all night. I'm not a jealous guy. I'm like, yeah, that's my girl. So anyway, great time last night, feeling good. And I got to watch Virginia with that late game cover on the free throw. So all in all, a great night hanging out with the youngsters who probably thought I was undercover and was just scoping me out. But anyway, felt good. Let's go ahead and get into some lines and personal leans for Sunday's action. Let's start in the NBA. We have the Bucks taking on the Hawks. 12:30 Eastern tip-off in Atlanta. Milwaukee open 5.5, total 235. Not a whole lot of movement in this one. Just a half a point move upward on the total, up to 235.5. So once again, the Bucks are minus 5.5. Total open 235, up to 235 and a hook. Atlanta's plus 170 on the money line. Snell is out for the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is questionable for the Bucks. Meanwhile, on the Atlanta side, Dedmon is out for today's action, and Bazemore and Prince are still questionable. Now, Atlanta's covering just 42% of their games on their home court. They're also 0-2 against the number, taking on Milwaukee. The Bucks are covering 68% of their games at the current number. They're also covering 71% of their games, taking on teams under 450. Now, total-wise, Milwaukee is just 17-21 to the over on the road. Atlanta's 23rd in offensive field goal percentage. I think we should see this one stay under. Give me Milwaukee minus 5 after buying the hook, and the under 235.5 in that matchup there. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Once again, I got some lines and personal leans out for Sunday's NBA, college basketball, NHL, and MLB action. But before we go ahead and get into some more of that, just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We are 3-0-1 in our last 4 MLB plays, doing very good in baseball. There's also plenty of free content there as well, so you don't even have to buy anything. I would never implore anybody just to give me money, give me cash. It's just a it's a patron-based page. If you want to just say, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, all your hard work. Here's a couple bucks. That's cool. But just keep watching this program. I don't need you to go to Patreon. But if you're interested, the link is in the description section below. And I don't know how to correct this light situation because I have not done anything different with the lighting. And I'm getting this blur up here in this area. And I don't like it. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. All starts Eastern Standard Time. On deck, we've got Mavericks, Thunder, 3:30 Eastern tip-off in OKC. The Thunder opened 11.5, total 222. We're seeing good movement on both the spread and the total in this one. A full 1-point move toward OKC when it comes to the spread. We're seeing a half a point move downward on the total as well. Minus 12.5 and 221 and a hook. So once again, OKC opened 11.5 up to minus 12.5. Total open 222 down to 221.5. 52% of the consensus is leaning toward Dallas. 65% shaded toward the over. Right now the Mavs are plus 650 on the money line. Doncic is out for the Mavericks today. Really, really bad news for them and their backers. They're also just 2-12 straight up in their last 14. But, hear me out here, Dallas is 5-1 against the number in their last 6, taking on OKC. If you're into historical trends, Dallas still ranks 8th in defending the 3-ball and 11th in defensive rebounding. And OKC, well, they've been struggling as of late. They're just 2-6 straight up in their last 8, 2-6 against the spread in those 8 games. They failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 at home. And they rank 24th in home defensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, OKC is 5-1 to the over in their last 6. Dallas 4-3 to the over in their last 7. I like the road dog in this one. I mean, it's a lot of points. They might not even come. They might lose by 40, but I don't care. I think Dallas is going to get the job done. Give me Dallas plus 13 after buying the hook and the over 221.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Lakers, Pelicans, 6 o'clock, New Orleans. The Pels open 2.5, total 235. Just a little movement on the total upward to 235.5. So once again, the Pelicans are 2.5, total open 235 up to 235 and a hook. Right now the Lakers are plus 115 on the money line. LeBron shut down for the year. He will no longer be seeing action. Once again, LeBron James out for the season. That was a decision made. Was not particularly an injury-based thing. LeBron is a no-go for the Lakers. Chandler's out today. Bullock questionable. Meanwhile, for the Pels, Davis is questionable. And like I said, Davis is questionable every game. You never know if he's going to play or not, or rest, or has a hangnail. Who knows? But anyway, Davis officially questionable for today's action. Now, New Orleans is third in offensive scoring. They're also fifth in offensive rebounding. Meanwhile, the Lakers have failed to cover in 11 out of their, they failed to win in 11 out of their last 15, just 4-11 straight up in those 15 games. They're also just 5-13 against the spread in their last 18, 0-5 straight up in their last 5 on the road. When it comes to scoring, the Lakers are 5-1 to the under in their last 6. 2 out of New Orleans' last 4 stayed under the total as well. So I'm going to purchase the hook, slide it down, and take the home favorite in this ball game here. Give me the Pelicans -2 and the under 235.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Kings, Spurs, 7 o'clock, San Antonio. The Spurs open -9, total 226.5. We're seeing movement upward on the spread and the total 9.5 and 227. So once again, the Spurs open -9 up to -9.5. Total open 226.5 up to 227. 52% are leaning San Antonio, 59% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Kings are plus 365 on the money line. The Kings are 2-0 against the number, taking on San Antonio this year. They're also covering 61% of their games, taking on teams allowing more than 102 a game. Sacramento is also 6th in road scoring, 3rd in shooting the 3 ball on the road, and they are 3rd in defending the 3 ball away from home as well. Now, San Antonio, they are 23rd in home offensive rebounding. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. Now, total-wise, San Antonio's 11-4 to the under in their last 15. Sacramento 4-2 to the under in their last 6. I'm going to buy the hook, slide it up, and take Sacramento +10 and the under 227 in that matchup there. Next game, Wizards, Nuggets, 8 o'clock, Denver. The Nuggets open 11.5, total 224. We're seeing a slight fade of Denver in the early going here. We're also seeing movement upward on the total, up to 224.5, spread at -11. So once again, Denver opened 11.5, down to -11. Total open 224, up to 224.5. 54% of the consensus is leaning toward Denver. And at the moment, Washington's plus 485 on the money line. Now, the Wizards rank dead last in the NBA in points allowed on the road. They're giving up 120 points when traveling. They're also dead last in road defensive rebounding, and they are ranking 2nd to last in road offensive rebounding. Now, on the other side, Denver's been incredible at home this year. They also rank 1st in defensive rebounding. They are 22-3 straight up in their last 25 on their home court. They're 31-6 straight up overall in that same category. Now, total-wise, Washington is 5-3 to the over in their last 8. I like Denver -11, covering the double digits in the over 224.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Hornets, Warriors, 8:30 tip-off in Golden State. The Warriors open 12.5, total 231. We're seeing movement downward on the spread and the total, 11.5 and 229. So once again, Golden State open 12.5, down to -11.5. Total open 231, down to 229. 58% are leaning Golden State, 68% shaded toward the over. Right now, Charlotte's plus 615 on the money line. Now, if you like Charlotte in this matchup here, Cody Zeller is out. He is not playing today. They also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 6 on the road. Now, Golden State ranks 1st in field goal percentage. They're also 2nd in offensive scoring and 3rd shooting the 3 ball. Now, total-wise, Golden State is 11-3 to the under in their last 14. Charlotte, 5-1 to the under in their last 6, taking on Golden State. If you're into historical trends, give me the Warriors -11 after buying the hook and the under 229 in that matchup there. Next and final game for our NBA slate. It is going to be Grizzlies, Clippers, 10:30 Eastern tip-off in Los Angeles. The Clippers open minus 8.5, total 227. We're seeing movement both upward on the spread and the total in this matchup here, up to 9.5 and 227.5. Once again, the Clippers open 8.5, up to minus 9.5, total open 227, up to 227 and a hook. 68% are leaning Clippers. And at the moment, we have Joakim Noah, Mike Conley, and Parsons all listed as questionable for the Grizzlies. Having said that, though, Memphis has really made do when it comes to the number being injured this year. They're 9-4 against the spread in their last 13, 4-2 ATS in their last 6 on the road. Memphis does rank second in the NBA in points allowed, and they're sixth in they're sixth in defensive field goal percentage. One more thing to add about the Grizzlies, they rank 6th in road defensive rebounding as well. Meanwhile, the Clippers on their side of things, they're ranking just 21st in points allowed and 25th in points allowed on their home court. One final thing about Los Angeles, they're ranking 22nd in home defensive rebounding. So I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it up, and take Memphis plus 10 in the under 227.5 in that matchup there. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball. A couple important games today. And I'll tell you what, how exciting is this Auburn team? We got Auburn taking on Kentucky, 2:20 Eastern tip-off at the Sprint Center. Kentucky opened the betting as the 2.5